I, male 36, have been with my girlfriend, 32, for 2 years. I have 2 boys from my previous relationship. Their mom is not in the picture. I work full-time and my girlfriend used to stay home to take care of everything else. I still help out here and there, yet she would complain about the kids causing constant messes, not receiving proper discipline, and accidents like breaking a vase, and the list goes on. She complained that she's more of a parent than I am, which is not true since I provide an income. Yet she decided she wanted to go back to work and started looking. She found a potential job and her interview was yesterday. I called her to remind her to pick up the kids from school since she's responsible for it, but she said she was about to start her interview and told me to get them. I was stunned. I told her I couldn't because I was at work. She said I could take a break, but I refused because this would have affected my job. I asked if she'd take 10 minutes to go quickly pick them up, but she refused. We ended up getting into an argument and me telling her that she should have figured something out beforehand. She blew up saying that I'm the parent and that she was tired of being at my beck and call all the time. The kids ended up being picked up by my friend 40 minutes later, which made them upset. At home, I got into a huge argument with my girlfriend, calling her selfish for doing this to the kids and ditching them like that. She said that she had an important interview and that I, as the parent, could have figured something out instead of expecting her to drop what she was doing and pick the kids up. She called me an idiot and then went to stay with her mom. Am I the idiot? She complained that she's more of a parent than I am, which is not true since I provide an income. Yep, you are the idiot. I rolled my eyes so hard I had to stop to make sure they weren't stuck that way after reading your BS. She's selfish for getting a job? Oh, then of course she's an idiot. LOL. Apparently her current nanny job isn't working out for her. Maybe OP should take his parenting skills, aka money, and pay someone to pick up his kids. How much are we betting that he voiced that opinion aloud to the girlfriend? And that's what prompted her to search for a job, because she's obviously not going to be taken seriously in that house until she gets one. How was he parenting the kids before she was in the picture? Also, 2 years into a relationship, and she's expected to play mom? That's rather fast, and I don't think that would have been a healthy transition for the kids. As the child of a father whose presence during childhood was effectively just that of a glorified wallet, I feel for those kids. Does anyone else think she's getting a job so she can be financially independent to escape him? She's 100% right. I find it funny that OP was stunned that he had to parent his own kids. Good on the girlfriend for getting a job and seemingly moving out, if only temporarily. OP sounds like he was using his girlfriend to provide long-term childcare while he was free to do as he pleased. I also wouldn't be shocked if he was trying to ruin her interview so she could remain independent upon him and continue taking care of the kids. Wow, you are the idiot, OP, and no wonder she's getting a job. She's getting a job because she's done. You messed this one up. She's not the parent. You are. Your babysitter is heading for the exit. I, female 40s, live with my husband, 40s, and our daughter, Laura, teen. I have a niece, Kelly, 26. I'm quite close with my siblings and their children, but in recent years I haven't seen much of Kelly as she's moved to another city that's around 3 hours away. Kelly's been around more often with the holidays coming up, and a few days ago, I hosted a family dinner and she came along. The next day, I got a call from Kelly. She's furious and tells me that Laura has stolen her AirPods. I asked her what the heck she was talking about, and she said that she had her AirPods in her handbag in our dining room, and now her AirPods were gone. She said that Laura was acting suspicious and being guilty. I hadn't noticed anything, but there was a bit of unrelated drama at the dinner, so I was distracted. I told Kelly I'd talk to Laura and then call her back. I talked to Laura. She immediately denies stealing the AirPods. She said that she's been nowhere near Kelly's handbag, and it's not like she doesn't have her own headphones. I can usually tell when Laura's lying, and she's never stolen anything in the past, so I'm likely to believe her. I know I'm biased because she's my daughter, but I know her very well. I called Kelly back a few hours later and told her that I didn't know what happened to them, but Laura had definitely not stolen her AirPods. Kelly insisted that Laura stole her AirPods and told me my husband and I must buy her a replacement. I told Kelly that that's just not the case and that I'm sure they'll turn up. Kelly even told all of our extended family that Laura stole her things and that she's a liar and a thief, and I'm enabling it. The day after that, I got a text from Kelly telling me that she found her AirPods and that they were in her car the whole time. Kelly seemed to think it was really funny, but I told her that I really didn't appreciate that she jumped straight to calling my daughter a thief when she misplaced her own AirPods. I told Kelly she was not welcome back into my home after the stunt she's pulled. Kelly got really upset and accused me of trying to cut her out of the family and being too harsh on her. So now my siblings are mad at me for banning Kelly from my house and saying I'm being horrible and bullying her. So am I the idiot? Not the idiot. An adult woman accused her teen cousin without hesitation. She just automatically went for the jugular without any proof. She should be embarrassed, and the family members letting her behavior slide are idiots as well. Also, you can track the AirPods on Find My app. I wouldn't want her in my home after what she did. Why would you welcome someone into your home who accused your daughter of stealing? She turns her unfounded accusation into a full-blown family drama, only to find they had misplaced the item and treat it all as a joke? No thanks. You're just protecting your family from another incident. A public, heartfelt apology to OP's daughter is barely the beginning if Kelly wants to make amends. No, public apologies serve to make a show for others, not to make right or wrong. Kelly needs to make a direct personal apology to OP's daughter and publicly retract her accusations and maligning of her daughter. I could be very wrong, but I have a feeling Kelly just wanted to find someone to replace her lost AirPods. After all, without proof, why would she immediately think Laura took them and not ask if she left them there? Laura's also an easier target, being a teen. My brother is a pathological liar. He has been for almost as long as I can remember. It started when he was 7 years old. I've been on the other end of his lies more than once. I was 2 years older, so I was always supposed to forgive once I get an apology from him, which was always forced by our parents. Some of the lies in childhood I was subjected to, that I cheated on one long-term girlfriend and slept with her best friend, that I had stolen my best friend's dad's family ring. It was stolen for real, but not by me. That I had permitted him to use my locker in school, which our high school didn't allow, and that I went out with friends when I was home in my room. The lie that made me cut him out of my life happened when we were 20 and 22. I had just moved in with my then long-term girlfriend. She and I had been together for almost 3 years at that point. My brother then told her that I had fathered a child with one of my ex-girlfriends and that I had abandoned my child so I could get girls easier. Unfortunately, she believed him enough that even when she realized she was wrong, the relationship was broken beyond repair. I told my brother after this that I never wanted to see him again, that he was dead to me, and I hoped his life would fall apart one day because of all his sick lies. His response was, we were family, and I couldn't disown him forever. I told him family is the people you love, and how could I love someone like him? It's been 15 years since that went down. I married my wonderful wife. We have 4 amazing children, and I've not seen my brother since. I also have a strained relationship with my parents because I blame them for not taking care of the problem sooner. So this is what I know, but I don't really care, so some details could be wrong. My brother was married. He lied a lot to his wife and her parents. His wife was sort of aware of what he was like, but her parents were not. He and his wife had children together, and they lived in a house owned by the wife's parents. His wife died suddenly, and some of my brother's lies were exposed. His wife's parents didn't want him in their house and kicked them out. They also kept his wife's stuff and denied him everything but the clothes he and his kids owned and toys. They offered to raise his children, but he refused. Then he lost his job because of lies. My parents took him and the kids in. Now they want us to make up, and they want me to help him out. I told him he got what he deserved, and now he's facing the consequences of his actions, and that I'll never ever help him. I told them he was not my family, his kids were not my family, and I am nothing to do with this. They asked how I could turn my back on innocent children. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your parents turned their backs on a child by enabling your brother to grow up the way he did. I know there are cases where parents can do everything right and the child still grows up into an idiot. But in this case, they clearly allowed OP's brother to grow up into a little monster. They also turned their backs on you by trying to force forgiveness. They have some nerve to cry to you about the consequences now. Agree 100%. I truly feel bad for the brother's kids, but as for the brother and parents, they're reaping what they sow. If there was a way to just help the kids, maybe do that. If the brother had changed somewhat, maybe him too, but he hasn't. And bringing the brother back is just like tossing a bomb into your own family. I have a friend whose brother is like this. It never ends. He will run up massive credit card bills and never pay them off, register them at his mother's and his sister's addresses so the bailiffs turn up there. He even stole all the money from his grandparents' bank account and disappeared for a few years. I wonder why any of his family still speaks to him. He's nearly 50 years old and still a complete waste of space. OP, your brother sounds potentially dangerous. You saw this years ago. He is not your responsibility. They chose to have him, but you did not. He's their problem. I feel bad for those kids. I really do. But nothing you can do will help them because their father comes attached to them and he will sabotage even the best of attempts. No matter what you do, your help will not reach those children. Hold your ground. My 28 male brother, 38, has been with his wife for 11 years. They live together and have a toddler kid. His wife and I get along fine, but I hate that she's always around, and I never get one-on-one time with my brother. She's always in the living room when I go to their house with the kid and us. I know it's her house too, but I wish she would give us guy time and go to another room when I'm over. When he visits my parents and me, he always brings her. You get the point. He's always busy with work, the kid, or her. Before their kid, they used to always go to this beer expo held a few times a year. It would be a big group with their friends and me, and it was always fun. Obviously, they haven't gone since they had their kid. So I got the email that it's happening again in 3 weeks and sent it to my brother, asking if he wanted to go. He said it sounded fun and he would get back to me. He called me up later and told me that they were in, and he purchased tickets for the 3 of us. I was angry. I thought it would just be the 2 of us and assumed his wife would stay home with the kid so he could have a day off. I told him as much. He told me sorry, but he and his wife hadn't had a fun day out in forever, and our mother agreed to take their kid for the day and overnight, and they were looking forward to it. He also said that this beer expo was always something they would do together, and they had been going together for years, just the 2 of them, before they started inviting the big group, so it's kind of their thing. I told him to forget it and find someone else to take the 3rd ticket. I told him I was sick of his wife having to be included in everything. He told my mom and she told me to grow up. My brother texted me and told me he had found a friend to take the ticket, but he was giving me one more chance if I wanted to come or not before he promised it to them. I told him to go ahead and give it away, and he said fine, and we haven't spoken much since. I just wanted a one-on-one day with my brother without his wife and kid. You are the idiot. It's almost as if your brother's married to this lady. It's a real shocker that this guy, who's 10 years older than his baby brother, sees himself as having a new kind of family with his wife and kid. Not to mention, baby bro didn't mention to him that this big group activity he used to do with his wife was now apparently a dude-exclusive brofest. Honey, my brother's coming over. Can you and the kid hide in the bedroom, please? The sight of you offends his delicate constitution. You're honestly perturbed that whenever you go to your brother's house, that his wife and kid are there? The nerve of them for living there. The audacity to have kids, too. I had to scroll up and double-check the ages. Imagine my shock that OP is 28. I was pretty certain he was 14, going on 18. I'm seriously confused. OP, you've never literally gone to this thing with just him. You go with both of them and their friends. But this time you just expected him? You didn't ask him to go, just the 2 of you. It's strange. I said to myself, OP appears to be able to communicate through written words, at least. Is there a reason he doesn't just flat out say to his brother, "Hello there, brother with the same mother. Wouldst thou be able to perchance partake of some brotherly man time together sometimes? I could helpeth maketh this happen by being quite flexible in my time, so that it's most convenient to you, as I realize with mine two eyes that your life is full of other things." But then again, I said to myself, maybe he's been cursed by a wizard and can't communicate such simple things. I, male 27, have been with my girlfriend, Wendy, 25, for 6 months now. Next year, we will be traveling to meet my extended family. A little bit of background. My parents are from France, and they moved to the US before I was born. I never learned French because I found it boring, and then as an adult, I found it difficult. Languages are just not my thing, but I know that they come easier to other people. Wendy already speaks Spanish fluently, even though no one in her family does, and she's now learning Korean. So I asked her to start learning French before she met my family, and she refused. I said that languages are easy for her and she should do it, so my family likes her. She told me to learn it myself, and she's not doing it. And I've called her an idiot, told her she knows how difficult learning languages is for me, and it wouldn't be a problem for her. She said no, that she didn't have the time. I said that she had the time to learn Spanish to watch telenovelas, and that she had the time to learn Korean to watch K-dramas, so she definitely should have the time to learn French to speak to my family. If she can do it for such silly reasons, she should certainly do it for something so important. She told me to learn it myself and called me an idiot. She ignored me for a few days and we met yesterday. I started the topic again, hoping she had cooled down, and she refused again. I was mad. I told her she didn't respect my family or me if she expected to be a part of my family when she refused to speak our language. She wasn't happy and told me to buzz off. I'm trying to understand what's going on, and I'm wondering if I was, in fact, an idiot. Perhaps I should have been more understanding and given her time to realize she had to learn French. Am I the idiot? Edit. I don't expect her to become fluent in a few months. I wanted to at least start learning so she can know the basics. Our language? Our language? Dude, you can't learn the language your parents speak in 27 years, but you call her the idiot for not doing it in a couple of months? Learning languages can be hard, sure, but you've had your entire life. You are the idiot. Buddy, you may want to see if there's a market for nerve, because you've got a lot to spare. You've chosen twice not to learn your parents' native tongue, once as a child because it was boring, and once as an adult because it was too difficult. And yet you feel entitled to demand of your fiancé that she do what you choose not to do and claim it's a lack of respect on her part? You have got to be kidding. She's not your personal translator, and you can't very well convince her that it matters to your parents that she be able to speak to them in French when you couldn't be bothered to learn. Either quit making excuses and put in the work yourself, or just carry on as you've always done. But don't expect her to do what you're not willing to do yourself. But he gave her time to realize she had to learn French. Oh man, you don't speak the language yourself, so don't pretend it actually matters to you. You have no right to expect her to put in this effort. You're the disrespectful one. You are entitled, and quite frankly, don't seem mature enough to be in a relationship. Honestly, you're a walking red flag. Hope she realizes it soon.